Hey everybody, off the top rope here, off the Mike Sports Network, reacting a little bit more to Monday Night Raw. The big thing, obviously, that happens out of this show, I mean, kind of an ordinary Monday Night Raw. They really leaned on Madison Square Garden to kind of carry them through. Kind of disappointing, for kind of what could have been like, a premium live event level show, but they've already had a major angle and a couple of major things happen in the last 2 weeks. Um, but obviously, the main event, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in the steel cage, was great. With Roman Reigns coming in at the end, pulling Seth Rollins by the neck out of the cage to give Seth Rollins the de facto win. So CM Punk loses without getting pinned, which is a neat little creative finish to get out of that. And clearly, what we are setting the stage for is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania in a triple threat match. The question is now, what is this going to look like? Because it's very clear they're not going to separate these two into different things. So what I think is going to happen here, and I think the easy way to explain this, because I think that they're more than likely, if Jey Uso and Gunther does not main event night one, I think this is a very likely going to be Roman, Punk, and Rollins in the main event of night one. And what's going to be on the line here is going to be, adding another piece to the the world title match, the undisputed title match on night two, WrestleMania Sunday between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Um, I think adding the element of that, creates a little bit of unpredictability because in a triple threat match, you can have no DQs. Granted, Rock is the final boss, can do whatever the fuck he wants. So I think that this is the way that they can, sell to their audience, hey, guy can get in on night one through night two. And they've set the precedent for this through last year's, tag match. And they've set the precedent for that where you can have something on night one dictate the story of what happens on night two. This is a little bit different from last year, as the winner is going to earn their right into the match and make it a triple threat on night two. We've seen this in one night at WrestleMania 30 with Daniel Bryan, obviously, winning the opener against Triple H. He gets into the main event. He beats Randy Orton and Batista for the World Heavyweight title. And history is history. It's one of the great moments in the history of WrestleMania. So I think this creates a little bit more of unpredictability of what you could do. Ultimately, if they do go this route, the best option to win this match is CM Punk. The best person to win this is CM Punk. He gets into that triple threat the next night and, forces his way into making it a guy that he has issues with in John Cena in the final boss, and then obviously somebody he's had issues with Cody Rhodes. So then he could potentially go from never main eventing WrestleMania CM Punk to main eventing twice. And some people may be saying, Mike, you might be overloading it a little bit too much with multi-person triple threats. Well, guys, when the story dictates this type of stuff, I am okay with making things make sense. And there is a way to get through this where we could potentially arise to a situation where because clearly CM Punk is going to be involved at some point with the final boss and John Cena. It's very evident that that's going to happen. So I don't know how they'll navigate this, who's going to take the pins. It would seem like Rollins would be an interesting candidate to lose on the first night, and then you get to another triple threat on the second night. It's just there's ways to get to this where I think it would be really interesting to try this out, because to me there has to be some level of stakes involved in what they're going to do um, with this triple threat. Because if that's going to be your main event, and frankly, with the level of star power that you have in terms of CM Punk and Roman Reigns, for God's sake, the guy's main evented the last 4 or 5 WrestleManias. It's really hard. Like, I could make an argument, obviously, Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble against Gunther. It would be a great moment. It would be a great vibe in Vegas to potentially have that close the show because it's for the World Heavyweight title. We'll see. But this is under my circumstances of, hey, the triple threat happens and the the selling point of you trying to make it the main event. So if this is the main event of night one, to me, you have got to put something on the line. And to me, the simple thing is, hey, winner gets into the match the next night. That's to me the most logical, way to piece this way all the way through. Now, the other part of this is what's going to go on with Paul Heyman. And that's where I think CM Punk's favor is going to come in. Is we're going to have, Rollins, Reigns, Punk in a triple threat at WrestleMania, and Punk's favor is going to be Paul Heyman. You're in my corner. You're my wise man for a night. You're not with Roman Reigns, and that is going to rattle the cage of the tribal chief. So that'll be an interesting element feeding into this story. And I think that's why they're making this like, all three of these guys don't like each other. These guys were beating the shit out of each other at the Royal Rumble. Roman beat the crap out of all of them at the end of this match. To me, that's the way you go about doing it. If your plan is to have this main event the show, if it's not, then you can have this be a triple threat and have this kick off the show, or have it near the end of night one, or you could have it near the at some point on night two. But to me, given the stature of these guys and given the nature of how much they've been really hammering home CM Punk main eventing WrestleMania, it feels like that there's something that's going to be put into this match that maybe they do it at the beginning of night two, and it leads into what I was saying, another triple threat match where you go in and face off against John Cena and Cody Rhodes in the main event for the undisputed championship. That's just the way it goes around, because there's going to be some funky business in that Cody Cena match because of obviously the implications of The Rock, and The Rock can do whatever the fuck he wants because he's the final boss, and he literally made his own rules in the tag match that he had. So we'll see. There's a lot that could still happen. We're still about 40 days away from this. So thanks so much for watching this. We'll have a lot more coming on the channel. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon.